is Harini. I am a registered dietitian and I'm also a certified diabetes educator by profession. And currently, I'm doing online consultations for diet and nutrition. And thank you, Fast&Up, for giving me this opportunity today. So, today we are going to be talking about hunger headaches. We all know that when we don't eat something for a long period of time, we land up with a very bad headache. And our stomach starts to rumble, and we can feel that a headache is approaching us. So, why does this happen, first of all? So what happens is there are two causes for this. It's not only your food that matters, but it's also if you are dehydrated, this can happen. So when you don't drink water, but even if you eat, but if you don't drink water, what happens is your brain, there are a lot of tiny tissues which is surrounding your brain. So without water, when the body starts getting dehydrated, these tiny tissues will start pressing on the pain receptors in the brain. So that's how you get hunger headaches because of dehydration. And the next cause is, as we all know, if we don't eat any food. So if you don't eat food for a long period of time, if you have like set time, like if you're going to eat your breakfast at 8 o'clock, if you eat your lunch at 12:30, 1 o'clock. So if you have that set timing, and suddenly because of work or something else you're not able to maintain the timing, and if you're planning to skip a meal, or if you're eating very late, then what happens is your body has already accustomed to a certain type of eating all this while, right? So suddenly if you don't do that, your body's blood sugar levels will start going low. So once it goes really low, what happens is it signals the brain to release hormones that will trigger your hunger sensation. So what happens is these hormones also, apart from triggering the hunger sensation in your body, they also cause headaches because they increase your blood pressure. So when they increase your blood pressure, your blood vessels will start constricting, and that's how you land up in a headache. So please don't skip your meals, eat on time, and don't if you're having a lot of work, if you're not able to spend 10 to 15 minutes to sit down and eat, have a bag of some trail mix or a few nuts or some fruits, whatever is easy for you to eat, whatever is easily accessible. So if you just have that at that time, your hunger headaches will go off. So, but you should also remember that it is your body, so it will need around 15 to 30 minutes, at least a minimum of 15 to 30 minutes to actually for your body to adjust and for your headache to go away. And also drink a lot of water. Drinking water is very important. Dietitians, we keep telling our clients all the time to drink water, but many don't drink water at all because you sit in an AC environment where you're sitting right under the aircon and you're not sweating, you don't have the feel to drink water, you're not thirsty, but make it a point to have a bottle of water next to you, some 1 liter water bottle, and try to fill it 2 or 3 times in a day minimum. Drinking water is very, very essential for all your bodily functions also, okay? And it will also prevent you from landing up with headaches. So like I said before, when you don't drink water for a long period of time, there are tiny membranes that are surrounding tissues and membranes that are surrounding the brain. So that will start pressing on the pain receptors and you start getting a very bad headache. And all this worsens if you are a person who already gets migraine headaches. So if you're a person who are prone to migraine headaches, please make it a point to drink a lot of water and to eat on time. Don't skip your meals. Okay, so and also what happens is when there are a lot of symptoms first before you land up in a headache. There are a few symptoms that will tell you that you are not eating, that you're starving. So you will start getting dizziness, you will start getting kind of vomiting sensation sometimes, or sometimes you will feel lightheaded, you will feel dizzy. So these are all the few symptoms that will come before you land up in a headache. And all these symptoms will go off once you eat. So, yeah. So this is all about hunger headache. So this is just a very easy thing that you can remember. Just eat on time, fix a time for your breakfast, lunch and dinner, and eat it, eat perfectly, eat mindfully. And also, it is good to keep your body active at least 4 to 5 days in a week. Okay, we've got a few questions now. Which should be the heaviest meal? Breakfast, lunch, or dinner? Okay, it is always better to have a heavy breakfast, a moderate lunch, and a very light dinner so that you don't feel very heavy when you go to bed. And also have at least 2 to 3 hours gap between your dinner and your sleep time. What is the difference between low blood pressure and low blood sugar? Okay. Okay. So these two are very different things, but you can feel similar symptoms with both of them. Low blood pressure actually is when your body, your blood is not pumping enough to your organs. So that's when your low blood pressure will happen. So how you can differentiate it from low blood sugar is when you get up immediately, you will feel lightheaded, you will feel dizzy, somewhat, you will not feel steady at all. So that is low blood pressure. But if you have very low blood sugar levels, then you will start sweating a lot. Then you will feel dizzy, like you're going to faint, but that will not happen when you have low blood pressure. So that is the difference between having low blood pressure and low blood sugar levels. Okay. The next question is, can intermittent fasting cause headache? Yes, for a person who has been eating normally without doing any intermittent fasting, and suddenly when a person jumps from doing this to that, then yes, it can cause headaches. Okay, so how you can go ahead with intermittent fasting and not have headaches is you can do intermittent fasting once or 2 times in a week. You can start slow. So you can also give your body the chance to accommodate and adjust, and it will let your body know that you're going to do something. So you can start slow. You can have probably, like, you can do 1 day intermittent fasting and see how your body is responding, and then the next week you can do 2 days intermittent fasting, and then you can slowly increase the number of days that you're doing intermittent fasting. So that's how you can prevent headaches. And also you can, if you are finishing your dinner by 6 or 7 o'clock, and then till the time you go to bed, you can consume something that is less than 50 calories. So if you consume something that's less than 50 calories, then it will not break you fast. So you can have probably half cup of green tea without any sugar. You can have probably black coffee without any sugar. So you can, and also drink a lot of water, and you can eat half of any fruit, like apple. Apple contains a lot of fiber, so eating half an apple will be less than 50 calories. So that also you can eat if you feel hungry, and that will not break your fast. So this is how you can prevent your headaches when you're doing intermittent fasting. How can we get enough protein when we don't consume non-vegetarian foods? And what are the vegetarian foods with high protein content? Okay, So if you're not a non-vegetarian, then consuming enough protein per day is a bit tricky. So what you can do is try to include one protein portion with all your meals. Like you can eat all your dairy products. All your dairy products contain a very good amount of protein. Apart from that, all your pulses, your dal, your legumes, you can sprout your dal and then eat it. So when you're sprouting your dal, then that will increase the amount of protein in the particular dal. And you can also have all your soya products, your tofu, soya, your soybean, your tempeh. All these contain a very, very good amount of protein, and soya chunks also. Like we add soy chunks to biryani, we can add it to some gravies and all, right? So we do that already, but we don't know that it is high in protein. Your meal maker is your soy chunks. So you can add that on a daily basis for vegetarians. Apart from this, there is something called nutritional yeast. This this yeast is has a cheesy flavor, and it has a very high amount of protein. You can add it to your pastas, your noodles, your smoothies, your juice, in anything that you actually add cheese. You can add nutritional yeast because it has this cheesy flavor and also contains a very good amount of protein. So you can include all these items on a daily basis to get enough protein uh, if you're a vegetarian. Is coconut oil healthy? Yes, coconut oil is healthy if it is consumed in moderation. Any oil for that matter, if you're going to use gingerly oil or sesame oil, your coconut oil, olive oil, whatever oil it is, you have to consume it in a very moderate amount, because every oil that is available is very calorie dense. So you really cannot think that, okay, this oil is healthy, so I can include that in a good amount in your food. No, you have to always eat in moderation. The next question is, will reducing salt in our diet help reduce weight? Okay, so what happens is, salt is a compound that will attract water in the body. So the more salty foods that you eat, if you're adding a lot of salt to your food items, then the salt that gets inside the body, that will attract all the water molecules towards it, and it will swell up. So if you start reducing the salt content in your diet, all the water that has been accumulating around these salt molecules will go away. So yes, you will have certain amount of weight loss if you reduce your salt in your diet. Okay, the next question is, does taking apple cider vinegar have any side effects? Okay, apple cider vinegar actually, there are not many scientific studies that are done on apple cider vinegar and its effects in the body, first of all. And second of all, people who are pregnant, people who are having existing medical conditions like cardiac disease or kidney disease or lung disorder, whatever it is, you're not supposed to uh, consume apple cider vinegar without a dietitian's opinion. And for a normal person, yes, you can go ahead and drink apple cider vinegar. You can mix it with water and you can drink it any time of the day. Okay, the next question is, does stress and anxiety has something to do with headache and hunger, as most of the people, when they are anxious, simply choose to binge eat some junk food? Yes, yes. Your stress and anxiety levels have a lot to do with hunger than headaches, actually. It is natural that when you're extremely stressed, you will have a very pounding headache. But that headache will not go off if you eat. Okay, so there should be a difference when you know that if you are working and if you have a lot of stress because of your work, then definitely if the workload gets low, or if you try to divert yourself for some time, if you try some stress relief techniques like, getting going out with someone, with your friends, or just watching something that you like, or playing with your pet, something like this for 10 to 15 minutes, you can see that automatically your stress levels will go down, and automatically your headache will also go down. So such stress headaches will not go down if you eat junk food, but that is like a vicious cycle where when somebody is stressed, they feel like eating something that is greasy and oily and fatty and fried, because those kind of foods that contain a lot of sugar will give your body a sense of satisfaction. So instead of diverting yourself by eating something like that, eating junk food to relieve your stress, you can actually just go lie down and sleep for some time, listen to music, talk to a friend, or watch something on the TV that will divert yourself from the stress situation uh, immediately. So you can see that like in 10-15 minutes your headache will go off. Okay, the next question. Can you suggest a good healthy recipe to munch while long hours of working? Okay, so if you're working long hours, obviously you can have sprout salad that you can prepare at home and take it to your office. You can like sprout overnight and add a few cut vegetables to it, whatever vegetables you like, it's of your choice. You can add that and take it in a box. You can eat fruits, two, or you can have like 2 or 3 fruits in your bag, so you can eat one when you're hungry, when you're working. You can also make a dessert if you want, if you're craving for something sweet. I can give you a recipe now. That is, you have dates, right? So grind a few amount of dates along with some oats and nuts of your choice, any nuts of your choice. So just put everything in a food processor and blend it till it becomes a soft mixture, and you can make it into balls, and you can store it. So these are very calorie dense because it contains a lot of nuts and dried fruits. So you can consume this in moderation, but if you eat just one energy ball that I just told you about, it will fill you for at least 1 to 2 hours, because it's very, very calorie dense, and it also has a lot of fiber and also is very nutritious. Okay, the next question is consuming fruit juice or having raw fruits, which is better in a weight loss plan? Okay, from my point of view, what I would suggest is eating fruits as fruit is always beneficial. Because when you grind it, and if you're going to eat it like, if you're going to drink it like a fruit juice, then most of us will be filtering the contents, and then we'll be drinking the juice. So that is not really healthy, because the fiber content from the fruit will get filtered away. So eating a fruit as a fruit has more benefits than drinking it as a juice. Does stress play a role in headache and hunger? Yes, stress does play a role in headache. So, I had this question before. So, like I explained, when you are stressed, and when you're stressed, you automatically land up in a headache. So, instead of going and eating some junk food to manage your stress, it is better to just divert yourself from the situation for 20 to 30 minutes. Just go for a walk, talk to a friend, do something to just divert yourself. Do something that you really like, so that will automatically calm your stress down, and you will not feel like eating junk after that. What happens is when you are stressed, these sugary, high fat fried items, they are by default made in a way that it satisfies you. You have the feeling of satisfaction when you eat them. So that's why you go ahead and order some junk food and you eat. So it is better to divert yourself when you're feeling stressed. Instead of going into junk, you can eat something healthy which will immediately calm you down. Okay, you're welcome. Okay, the next question is, can we add protein powder to the recipe you gave just now to increase the protein intake and overall macros? Yes, already if you're already taking any protein powder, you can add the protein powder to it, to the recipe I just gave you now, to increase the protein intake. Yes, you can definitely do that, but make sure the size of the energy balls is not too big. Let it be in a size, like it should not be in the size of a tennis ball. It should not be so big. Just very small rounds like gulab jamun size. I think that should be enough because it's very calorie dense. So if you're trying to lose weight, it will not be good if you are going to consume this 3 or 4 times a day. Yes. Okay. Okay. I think we can wait for a few more questions, and thanks for everyone for being such an interactive audience. So I hope you got some tips from me today to eat healthy. I don't think I missed any question. Okay. Okay. All right. I'll just wait for like 1 or 2 minutes to see if there are any more questions. And after that, I think we can end the session after that. So let me just sum up about my session. I spoke about hunger headaches. So what happens is, like I told before, when you are hungry and when you don't eat, when you skip a meal, when you are not eating for a long period of time, your body will produce hormones that signal to secrete more hunger hormones. So these hormones will have an effect in increasing your blood pressure, and that's how you land up in a headache. So it's always best to fix a time to eat your breakfast, lunch, and dinner. If you're working, then according to your working hours, you can manage it. Or if you are at home, if you're working from home, I'm sure you'll be able to spend 10 to 15 minutes to eat your meal, and eat slowly. Don't rush. Always eating slow is better. Chew your food properly and eat, and drink a lot of water, and have, if you are a person who cannot spend a lot of time eating a meal, then you can have like you can divide your meals. Like you can have your breakfast and have something in the mid morning time, like you can have a fruit, or you can have some nuts, you can drink a glass of buttermilk, or you can have a milk with nuts ground in them, like almond milk or some nut milk. And after that, you can have your lunch. And after your lunch in the evening time, you can have some tea or coffee with some crackers, or you can have sundal, you can have sprout salad, you can have anything that is not very calorie dense in the evening time. You can also actually have paneer burji with a lot of nuts added to it. Like you can add dal to it, you can add nuts to it, you can add vegetables to it, make it like a good meal. If you eat it in the evening, then in the night time, even if it gets a bit late, you won't feel so hungry, and you can finish your dinner. You can have a very light dinner, you can have some tiffin with lots of vegetables to it with a protein portion, and you can end the day like that. Okay, we have another question. How much gap should we have between our meals? Okay, this totally depends on you. Ideally, you can have at least a minimum of 3 to 4 hours of gap between your meals. Like if you're going to eat your breakfast at 9 o'clock in the morning, then you can definitely take a break for 3 to 4 hours and eat your lunch around 12:30 or 1 o'clock. And then again, 4 hours gap, and you can have evening tea or coffee with some snacks, and then you can eat your dinner after that. Can dehydration be the reason for hunger? Yes. Sometimes when you're dehydrated, your body will think that it needs food, but you can drink water and see if your hunger pangs are going down. If it's going down, then it means it is just thirst and water that was needed for the body and not actual food. So there is a difference between emotional hunger and physical hunger. Sometimes when you're stressed, sometimes when you're excited, when you're happy, you will feel like having a good meal, having something nice, something that is sugary and fatty. At the same time, there is actual physical hunger when your body is hungry. So you can do this when you're feeling hungry, but you don't know what it is. You can have one banana, or you can think that, okay, I'm going to eat one banana now. So if I eat one banana, will my hunger go away? So if the answer is yes, if you think that if you eat a banana, your hunger will go away, then it means you only have emotional hunger and it's not your actual physical hunger. So if you feel that you will uh, be satisfied only if you eat a meal, then go ahead and eat a proper meal. Okay, we have another question. Can we have nuts when hungry? Yes, you can have nuts while you're hungry. It is a very healthy option, and it's always better to soak your nuts overnight. Whatever nuts you eat, soak them overnight and then eat it the next day. Okay, I think the session is going to end. So yeah. So we can wrap up because I think I've answered all the questions. So if you have any more questions, you can send me a direct message on Facebook or on Instagram, and I'll be happy to answer your questions. Also, thank you. Okay, I have another question before that. Can you throw some light on hypoglycemia and a couple of diet remedies for it if you find it happening moderately at earlier stages? Okay, hypoglycemia is basically when your body cannot, when it produces a lot of insulin and whatever you eat immediately gets inside the cells and you don't, there is not enough blood sugar in the blood. So that's when your hypoglycemia will happen. So if you are a person who are prone to hypoglycemia, then it is always better to have some chocolate or some energy bars. You get these energy bars everywhere, so have like 2 or 3 of them with you. Have some nuts, but chocolates and some candies are the best sources of immediate sugar release in your body. Or you can have white bread, but I don't think white bread is practical to take it with you everywhere, but you can definitely have chocolates and candies with you all the time. And also raisins are a good source of immediate release of sugar. So have a few raisins, some candies, and some chocolates with you if you are a person who is prone to getting hypoglycemic attacks. So, if you want like diet remedies for it, then I would say eating frequently. Like, not frequently doesn't mean full day eating, it means like having a proper healthy breakfast which has a lot of complex carbohydrates, has enough protein and enough fiber in your diet. So if it is going to be your breakfast, for example, I'll give you an example. For breakfast, then you can have 1 or 2 eggs with a multigrain toast, one fruit. So this will be, multigrain toast is a source of complex carbohydrates, your eggs will be the source of protein, and your fruit, or if you're going to have a salad, so that will be the source of fiber. So if you are going to eat like this, if you're going to have a proper balanced meal with a lot of complex carbohydrates, you can prevent getting hypoglycemic. Can we replace water with energy drinks? Replacing water with energy drinks is not necessary. Actually, these energy drinks that are designed, those are mainly for athletes and for people who are bodybuilding and who are into professional athletics. It is not necessary for a common man who is not into athletics to drink energy drinks on a regular basis, because these energy drinks, even though they have a lot of minerals and vitamins in them, they also have a very good amount of sugar. So it is not really necessary for a person who's not into athletics, who's not into sports, to drink these energy drinks. Yes. Okay. All right. So, okay, I think I've answered all the questions. So, yeah. Thank you, Fast&Up, for this wonderful opportunity. I had a wonderful time. It was a very interactive session, first of all, and it was a very good, interesting topic actually to talk about hunger headaches. So, thank you for this opportunity, and take care, everyone. Stay safe.